Lunchtime is over.
What's that?
Your keys, man.
I see you've played knifey spoony before. Hey!
What's up, everyone? Adam from FWCI. This is Brewstew 13 Action News. This goes out to Heidi, who's been very politely reminding me to watch this for months and months now. Finally, we're getting around to it. There's a whole bunch of videos in this one. They're very, very short, but we're going to go through all of them in the one video. If you do want to support the channel, just hit the subscribe button down there. It's very easy, it's very free, and it helps the channel a lot. Appreciate it very much. 13 Action News, Brewstew. Let's start off with a hostage standoff.
Thank you for joining us at 13 o'clock Action News. I'm Tom O'Donnell. This just in, we have a live police standoff going on downtown. We have Dan Peterson at the scene. Dan, what do you have for us?
Hi, Tom. We're on the corner of 3rd and Broadway right now, where police have a suspect holding a man hostage outside of Rick's Corn Dog Emporium. You know, that new restaurant with the corn dogs?
That sounds awful, Dan.
Well, I've only been there once, Tom, but the mozzarella sticks were pretty good.
I meant the hostage situation, Dan.
Oh, well, I still stand by the mozzarella sticks, Tom.
Any word on who the victim is being held hostage?
Police are currently trying to determine who the victim is. Oh, hang on a second, I'm getting an update. He's a white male, 46 years old, and a reporter for 13 o'clock news. It appears I'm the victim of the hostage standoff, Tom.
That sounds terrible, Dan. Does it seem pretty serious?
I'd say it's pretty serious, Tom.
Alright, so these are like little gags like this, because I'm down with this. This gives me a bit of an insight into Brewstew's comedic, how he likes to explore comedy in particular.
It's not like he's holding a fucking boomerang in his hands now, is it?
You don't have to get snarky with me, Dan, just because your ex-wife told you I was a better lover.
What can I say, Dan? Your mother must have been a good teacher.
Well, Dan, at least my mother's not dead.
But I'm sure she wishes she was after you got your 4th DWI.
Actually, it was just my 3rd, Dan, but...
Whoa. Hang on a second. Oh my god. That got real personal real quick. Jesus.
But I'm sure she wishes she was after you got your 4th DWI.
Actually, it was just my 3rd, Dan, but you wouldn't know that since you were too busy failing your 2nd marriage.
Well, Tom, I'd rather fail a marriage than a sobriety test.
Well, Dan, at least my kids' teeth aren't all jacked up, looking like they've been chewing on bricks all day.
Yeah, well, at least... Hold on a second. At least I can remember all my kids' names, Tom.
That's surprising, Dan, since you only get to see your kids on every other Wednesday.
Kind of...
Whoa. Oh my god. This is absolutely brutal, these two. Hang on, I'll tell, it's almost over. I have a story.
Remember all my kids' names, Tom.
That's surprising, Dan, since you only get to see your kids on every other Wednesday.
Kind of like your parole officer, Tom. Back to you.
That was absolutely savage. There's a clip of this news reporter arguing with his the field reporter arguing with the anchor back in the studio. These two old guys. It's from the 90s, maybe early 2000s. It's uncomfortable. Reminded me of that.
Well, if I have to teach you how to be a reporter, Ollie, I'll do that later.
Oh, why don't you do that later, Jim? I think the lady expressed herself, and you're not here, you're there. Is there any question you'd like me to ask her?
And no, I'll give you lessons on how to become a reporter later.
Well, I'll give you some lessons on how to be an editor, because I was your boss once.
Yeah, you were, and are no longer. How did that happen?
Let's move on to the next one, apartment fire.
Thank you for joining us at 13 o'clock news. This just in, firefighters are battling a fire at a downtown apartment building. We have Dan Peterson at the scene. Dan, what do you have?
Dan, what's going on, man?
News, the apartment building's totally engulfed in flames, and I have no marshmallows to make s'mores. That sounds awful, Dan. Are there any survivors?
Just this dirty guy that smells like crispy bacon. Sir, can you tell me what it was like inside the building?
Well, it was hot.
Well, no shit, it was hot. The building's on fire, you fucking idiot.
Dan, can you ask the victim what it feels like to lose all his precious belongings?
Sure thing, Tom. Hey, stupid fuck. Now that all your shit's on fire, what do you think you're gonna miss the most?
Probably my dog. I have a dog named Tanya. Oh, that's terrible, Dan. Who the fuck names a dog Tanya?
Yeah, what the hell? What kind of name for a dog is Tanya? That's a new one.
I was thinking the same thing, Tom. I thought only strippers were named Tanya.
Well, Dan, you certainly would know, wouldn't you?
Boy, that's for sure, Tom.
Can you tell me what breed the dog was? She's a Dalmatian. Ooh, I don't like Dalmatians, Dan. I once tried to feed my neighbor's Dalmatian a sausage one time, and the motherfucker bit my finger.
Yeah, fuck Dalmatians, Tom.
Dalmatians can be quite vicious if they're not raised properly. I've known Dalmatian owners, and yeah, it's a complicated process.
I hope it's dead. If anyone has any news on Tanya, the missing stripper, I'm sorry, Tanya, the missing Dalmatian, please call the number below.
Hold that thought, Tom. It looks like
Oh,
a firefighter
Tanya.
was able to pull the dog from a second-story window, saving poor little Tanya's life.
Oh, wait a minute. That dog's name's Tanya? I know a stripper named Tanya. That's miraculous, Dan. I thought that dog was super dead.
Yeah, I was hoping so too, Tom. I'm Dan Peterson, reporting for 13 o'clock news. That's a good girl there, Tanya. Ow, son of a bitch. Stupid ass Dalmatian.
Told you. It's uncanny how much I agree that Tanya is a terrible name for a dog, and how much I agree that Dalmatians can be bloodthirsty little assholes. But let's have a look at Meteorite. A meteorite is coming, everybody. What does Dan and Dave, or whatever his name is, got to say about this one?
I'm Tom O'Donnell. This just in, a
Tom
large
O'Donnell.
object has crash landed in downtown McMainerberry. We have Dan Peterson at the scene. Dan, what do you have for us?
Well, Tom, first reports indicate that a meteorite has crash landed into a local orphanage, squishing everybody inside like a pancake.
Ooh, a meteorite. That's pretty neat, Dan. It almost makes all those dead children worth it.
Well, it was an orphanage, Tom. Nobody wanted those kids anyway. That's a good point.
Oh my god, that is brutal.
Dan, it was totally worth it.
I'm here with local astronomer, Mr. Johnson.
Actually, it's Doctor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Doctor, could you tell us how large the impact crater is?
Yeah, it's approximately 150 feet in diameter. That's pretty large, Dan.
Yeah, it sure is. That's roughly the length of 3 school buses or a third of your mother's asshole, Tom.
Well, Dan, at least my mother's asshole wasn't in a Penthouse magazine in 1982.
That's because there wasn't enough pages for your mom's fat ass to fit on, Tom. Well,
Boys, can we not just get along? Actually, keep going. This is entertaining as hell.
Dan, I'd rather have a fat mother than a dead one.
Mr. Doctor, are you sure that's a meteorite behind us? Or just a kidney stone Tom's fat mother left behind?
Hold that thought, Dan. I have to run to the bathroom quick and pay my respects to your dead mother.
And I'll be sure to pay my respects to your mother's left foot after the type 2 diabetes takes it.
Wow, that's quite the asshole on your mother there, Dan. But I have to say, it looked better in the backseat of my Honda.
Mr. Doctor, how many third graders do you think Tom's mother eats on a daily basis?
Knock, knock, Dan.
Who's there, Tom?
Not your dead mother, that's for sure. We'll be back after these messages.
Which one of these two is going to murder the other? Because holy crap, there's a lot of issues between these two gentlemen. All right, this next one's called Baby Giraffe. This should be a nice, wholesome, little schmooze fest. What do we got?
Thank you for joining us at 13 o'clock news. I'm Tom O'Donnell. This just in, we have Dan Peterson at the local zoo where a baby giraffe is about to be born. Dan, what do you have for us?
Well, Tom, since there's no real news happening right now, I gotta be at this smelly ass zoo waiting for a fucking giraffe to be born.
How exciting, Dan. We asked our viewers to vote on a name for the baby giraffe. 6% want to name him Jeffrey, and 94% want to name him Who the Gives a Fuck.
Well, Dan, all I can say is this giraffe better be in a fucking Lion King movie because I'm freezing my ass off out here.
No need to talk shit about the draft, Dan. Maybe if you were a better reporter, you wouldn't have to be there.
Well, that's easy for you to say, Tom, since you just sit at a desk and lick our boss's asshole all day long.
And already they kick off with 30 seconds in and the mudslinging has begun.
Now, there's nothing wrong with being a good ass licker, Dan. Your ex-wife sure seemed to enjoy it.
Well, I'd rather lick the asshole of one of these zoo animals than my ex-wife, Tom.
Huh, that's funny. I didn't know there was a difference, Dan.
Well, with all the barbiturates and whiskey you consume on a daily basis, I don't doubt it, Tom.
Don't take it out on me, Dan. It's not my fault you're drowning in back child support.
Well, my child support won't last forever, Tom. Unlike that herpes you got on your upper lip.
Don't talk shit about my herpes, Dan. It was a gift from your mother.
But my mother's dead, Tom.
Is that so, Dan? I was wondering why she was more quiet than usual. Excuse me.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to do the news.
But the, baby giraffe is born now.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Congratulations, Dan. It's pretty ironic you made it to the birth of a giraffe, but not to either births of your 2 children.
Yeah, about as ironic as you getting a DUI coming home from that AA meeting, Tom. Back to you.
Oh, a DUI on the way home from an AA meeting? Oh yeah, that one's a bit embarrassing. And more illegal than your average DUI. Christ. I'm almost afraid to watch this one. This is Man on a Bridge.
Thank you for joining us at 13 o'clock news. I'm Tom O'Donnell. This just in, we have a man threatening to jump off the Maple Street Bridge in downtown McMainerberry. We have Dan Peterson at the scene. Dan, what do you have for us?
Well, Tom, it looks like this man is trying to end his life by leaping.
The man jumps because these two won't stop arguing, doesn't he?
being 200 feet to his death.
That sounds awful, Dan. What would make a man so desperate?
I don't know, Tom. Let me ask him. Hey, psychopath, why are you trying to catapult yourself off a bridge? I don't want to talk about it.
Well, you better make him talk about it, Dan. This is the best story we've had since that homeless guy took a shit in that Burger King drive-thru.
Hey, psychopath, I'm the
What about the
goddamn
giraffe?
news. You have to talk to me.
Or the
Tom,
Meteorite?
you might as well go to commercial. I don't think this guy's gonna jump. You're ruining our ratings, you selfish asshole.
You keep at him, Dan. And now, a word from our sponsors. This possible public suicide is brought to you by Angel Soft Toilet Paper. Toilet paper so
Wow.
soft, it's like wiping your ass with a baby.
That's actually a
and
pretty
welcome
good
back to the
point.
news. Dan, have you found the reason why this man is threatening to jump yet?
No, he's not talking to us, Tom, so I guess we gotta make our own conclusions. Personally, I think it's because he's ugly. Hey, stupid fuck, is it because you're ugly?
Careful, Dan. Nobody wants to be called ugly from a man who's never learned how to satisfy a woman.
Oh, so we're gonna do this shit again, huh? Okay,
Here we
Tom,
go.
well sure, you can satisfy women, but you always have to pay them first, don't you?
Well, I sure didn't have to pay your ex-wife, Dan. Hell, she was so satisfied, she asked for my autograph afterwards.
That's funny, Tom. I thought the only thing you signed your name on was a personal check to a rehab clinic.
I know you're not talking about money, Dan. Hell, with all your back child support, I'm surprised you yourself haven't hurled yourself 200 feet off a bridge.
No worries, Tom. I hurl myself 200 feet every time I roll off that fat fuck you call a mother.
I find that hard to believe, Dan, since your ex-wife told me you haven't had an erection since 1996.
My dick may be soft, Tom, but at least every hooker in downtown McManerberry hasn't seen it.
Well, of course they haven't seen it, Dan. Why the f*** would a hooker have a microscope?
This just in, Tom. The results of your latest STD test came in, and it looks like your dick is now more toxic than Chernobyl.
Well, Dan, if my dick was radioactive, your ex-wife would be a goddamn Ninja Turtle at this point. Excuse me.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to do the news.
But I'm not gonna jump off the bridge now. You guys' lives are so fucked up, mine actually seems worth living. Well, there goes our news story, Dan.
They
Just another
saved him.
disappointment thanks to your flaccid dick. We'll be back after these messages.
Oh, well, that one had a happy ending. At least they ended up saving the guy. Jesus, they get so brutal. I would love to know the writing process for these videos. These are just hilarious. And let's wrap it up with 13 o'clock news, escaped convict.
Thank you for joining us at 13 o'clock news. I'm your new anchor, Dan Peterson. This just in, it appears a convict has escaped from downtown McManerberry prison. We have
Where's
Tom
Tom?
O'Donnell on the scene.
Oh,
Tom,
what?
what do you have for us?
Well, Dan, it appears a man broke out of jail. What the f*** does it look like?
Now, Tom, I know you're bitter about your demotion to field correspondent, but people still need to hear the news.
Okay, Dan, well, here's the news.
Did he have an alcohol-related incident and got demoted? Is that what happened? Did he go on the air drunk?
There's a homicidal psychopath on the loose, and I'm freezing my dick off out here.
Well, Tom, I guess you should have thought about that before you decided to play hide the banana with our boss's wife.
Well, what can I say, Dan? Usually I play hide the banana with your wife, but she wasn't available on the count of she was too busy divorcing the f*** out of you.
What was that, Tom? I didn't hear you. I was too busy not freezing my ass off outside of a county prison.
Well, at least you're cozy, Dan, considering you've had more failed marriages than an episode of Jerry Springer.
Well, I'm nice and comfy, Tom, now that I've cleared out all these bottles of brandy you left behind your desk.
Oh, well, I left those for you, Dan. Just like all those stains that me and your ex-wife left on your bed sheets.
I'll pass on the
Oh my
booze, Tom.
God.
Unlike you, I don't collect DWIs like they're fucking Pokemon cards.
Hang on, Dan, it appears I'm getting an update. This just in, Dan Peterson sits on the toilet and pees like a girl.
Oh, so we're doing this shit again, are we? Okay, breaking news, everyone. Tom O'Donnell blew his kid's college fund money on a stripper named Tanya the Tank.
This just in, Dan, your first ex-wife was Tanya the Tank.
Breaking news, everybody.
Wow, his kid's college fund money on Tanya the Tank. By the way, it's a stripper named Tanya, of course. So it's Tanya. I thought they were talking about Tanya. Like Tanya. You know the one.
Buddy, Tom O'Donnell once got cut off at a Chuck E. Cheese during his kid's own birthday party.
This just in, Dan, your dick looks like a used-up tube of toothpaste.
This just in, Tom. Your dick needs a dose of penicillin every morning, or else it'll fall off in the shower.
That may be so, Dan, but
Excuse me.
shut the f*** up, I'm trying to do the news.
Do you know where I can find a bus stop around here?
Yeah, there's one right down the road next to that preschool. Get out of here.
Thank you.
God damn it, now where was I?
I think you were about to say something about my dick again.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you. That may be so, Dan, but at least my dick isn't causing me to go bankrupt from monthly alimony payments. Back to you.
Wow. That was an experience, man. The tension between those two is just... You could cut that tension with a knife, and they're not even in the same room. Oh, I love that twist that he got demoted and they had to switch positions. That it doesn't change the sketch at all. It just gives them more ammunition to rip on each other with. But thank you, Heidi, for hassling me to watch this. I'm really glad that I did. That was way funnier. I didn't know what the hell it was going to be, to be honest. I certainly didn't think it was going to be like an episodic rivalry between these two news people. I thought it was just going to be like random news stories, but there's a real backstory between what is it, Dan and Tom. That's right, Dan and Tom. Yeah, they got some history. I would love to see like a long form, like short movie of these guys here, like something that goes really deep into their history. Maybe we get to see how the ex-wife and Tom ended up hooking up. I think that I just love how much history that they built between these two characters throughout these videos, and it's so like boiling surface. It's already very interesting, you know? This was a hell of a lot of fun. I want you to let me know in the comments what you thought about this one. If you do want to support the channel a little bit further, go to patreon.com/FWCI. That's where you can do it. You get early access to a bunch of stuff on there. And shout out to Brewstew as well for allowing me to react to these videos. I've never had any copyright issues with Brewstew and any of the videos that I've ever done. And I've had some very pleasant interactions with him on Twitter as well. So shout out to him. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends. See you in the next video. Peace.